When you're in high school, you're expected to make decisions that are life-changing at 16 years old. You're expected to know, hopefully know, what you want to do for the rest of your life, which is broken. It's insane. It's crazy. So I was watching a YouTuber, Ali Abdaal. He is probably the guy on productivity. And he was talking about kind of finding his groove and finding what he's going to be doing next. And this might have been a video where he is taking the next year off, which is awesome. But he was talking about how he came about whether or not he was going to become a full-time YouTuber, and whether or not that's really what he should have been doing. Because originally he was a doctor, and when he started his YouTube channel, it was to help medical students study. That's the whole niche. He started teaching students a little bit better study habits, specifically for medical students. Actually, I think it was more specific about passing a certain exam. And then it broadened to study habits for all different types of students. And then it kind of morphed into productivity for all people. And he became a full-time, very successful YouTuber. And he makes courses, and he just wrote a book and all this good stuff. And he was trying to figure out his next steps and different things. And he basically was talking about, which I believe, I could be wrong, a Ray Dalio principle based on Ray Dalio's book, Principles. And he was mentioning the 5 whys. And I think this is crucial for high school students because of the fact that when you're in high school, you're expected to make decisions that are life-changing at 16 years old. You're expected to know, hopefully know, what you want to do for the rest of your life, which is broken. It's insane. It's crazy. But you're supposed to know what school you want to go to. And if you don't want to go to school, you're supposed to know what trade school you want to go to. And if you don't know what trade school you want to go to, you're supposed to know what job you're going to try to go. It's really crazy. Meanwhile, a 16-year-old child doesn't even know who they are yet. They're not supposed to. They're a child. So they're going to be faced with a lot of things that they need to ask themselves whether or not this is correct. If they go to college and they stayed home for school and they're just kind of not feeling it, they may have to ask themselves, is this right? If they go away to school and they're not feeling it, they have to ask themselves if this is right. They may have joined a club at school and they may not be feeling it anymore. They may be trying to do something online and do a side hustle, and they may find themselves struggling, whatever it may be. But this 5 why exercise is really, really cool. And it's interesting because when we have a problem in our lives, we ask ourselves, well, why am I having this problem? So let's kind of play it out together. I don't have to tell you, students today are way too stressed, overwhelmed, and anxious about their lives and their futures. This is why I do what I do. As a youth speaker, I teach students to step back from the situation, see the choices they have in front of them, make great decisions, and build positive patterns around this process. Whether it's substance abuse, bullying, or stress about their digital lives, the students I've worked with have had some great success. So I want to work with your students. I want to come down to your school and your event and actually teach your students the art and the science of making great decisions. So click the link below and schedule your call with me so I can learn a little bit more about what you're looking for in your next speaker. Let's say I want something and I want to, I'll use Ali's example here. I want to be jacked, right? I want to have big muscles. Okay. So the first why is, why do I not have big muscles? Okay. Well, I don't have big muscles because I don't go to the gym regularly. Number 2, why do I not go to the gym regularly? Well, I don't go to the gym because I'm prioritizing other things. let's skip that. We might actually say like, oh, we don't have time for it. We're going to skip right to the uncovering that's priority. Okay. Why do I prioritize other things? Well, because I have other responsibilities in my life that I deem more important. Well, why do I deem those more important? And now we're almost at the last why here, basically. And you see how quickly we've got to this place where it asks kind of who we are as a person, like who we genuinely are as a root philosophy, a vision, a purpose in our life. So we'll use another example. Let's use a example for a student. I mean, he or she could use that example, but let's use a different one. Let's use a math test. This is a really good example for mine. My life, I could not pass the Math B Regents exam. It's really sad because it really wasn't advanced math, but I just was not good in math. Now, maybe there's more to that, so let's do it together. Why can't I pass the Math B Regents exams? Well, because let's just say I'm really bad at math. Well, why am I really bad at math? Because my brain doesn't really work like that. Just something super vague, right? Well, why does my brain not really work like that? Well, because I haven't trained my brain to work like that. Well, why haven't I trained my brain to work like that? Well, because I don't believe I can do it. I don't believe I will be able to do it. Why do I not believe I can be able to do it? And now you've got to this extreme root issue of why, right, 5 whys. I'm down to my limiting beliefs. Why can't I think of that? And that might uncover some really, really interesting things in a student's life that they may not even know of. They might not be aware of some childhood trauma that might have been affecting them, whether it's serious trauma or just something that really sucked. Maybe they may not be aware of certain limitations they're putting on themselves. And this 5 why exercise, I think, could be really, really helpful, not only getting them unstuck within some specific issue that they want to, or a specific task or goal they want to achieve, but I think it could really help holistically for their own mental health. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you are able to use this 5 why exercise on your students. If you are, please let me know how it goes and let me know if they find it useful. If you like today's episode, then let me know by hitting like, hitting subscribe, and hitting the bell notification every time I release a new video. And if you like today's episode, then you also might like this one right over here.